Command every terrifying shadow of the night to instantly flee from this room, Lord, and establish an impenetrable, burning wall of celestial fire around my bed to violently block every single night terror before it can even attempt to trespass into my consciousness. I am stepping out of the exhausting vulnerabilities of the waking world and marching straight into the supreme sanctuary of your absolute protection right now, fiercely refusing to give up my midnight hours to dread, panic, or spiritual sabotage. I come before you in this deeply personal, raw, and quiet moment, confessing that I am completely tired of feeling exposed in the dark, tired of the heavy anxiety that creeps in when the lights go out, and tired of the troubling thoughts that aggressively try to disturb my sleep and steal my hard-earned sense of safety. I am dropping the heavy armor of my own failing strength at your feet tonight, utterly refusing to bleed another drop of energy over battles meant to be fought by your sovereign authority. I am taking an absolute stand against the spirits of fear and intimidation that haunt the midnight hours, demanding that every silent assignment against my peace, my sanity, and my rest be permanently crushed and neutralized by your divine power before I close my eyes. Lord, let your pristine, life-giving peace violently flood every single square inch of this room tonight, driving out the dense, heavy atmosphere of stress and replacing it with an unbothered, supernatural tranquility that defies human explanation. Systematically remove every lingering trace of terror, every knot of physical tension from my body, and every frantic, anxious thought from the delicate layers of my mind and spirit, before my head even hits the pillow. Break the stubborn, toxic habits I have developed of overthinking worst-case scenarios in the dark, and help me to feel deeply secure, heavily insulated, and flawlessly protected in the majestic warmth of your immediate presence. When the silence of the night threatens to magnify my insecurities, let the steady rhythm of your heartbeat be the loudest sound in my universe, suffocating the flames of panic and instantly silencing the intrusive scripts of ruin that the enemy hurls at my imagination. I declare that my mind is a consecrated zone of absolute peace, a territory marked off limits to dark imagery, and that your presence is the ultimate gatekeeper of my thoughts, while my physical senses are completely turned off. Father, I beg you to watch over me, my home, and everyone I love with an intense, unyielding vigilance through the dark, unpredictable hours of the night, refusing to leave us exposed to the elements of a broken world. Heavily surround this entire property with an unbreakable mantle of your presence, stationing your elite warrior angels at every doorway, every window, and every vulnerable perimeter point to maintain an active, airtight celestial guard. Let an exquisite, unshakable calm settle deeply and permanently into every single room, every hallway, and every fragile heart resting under this roof tonight, neutralizing any spiritual weapon formed against our stability. I speak an absolute boundary of divine immunity over my household, declaring that no sudden tragedy, no terrifying nightmare, and no midnight panic attack has legal permission to cross the threshold of this house. We are a people custom-built for your glory and marked by your sovereign favor, and I rest in the comforting certainty that even when the world outside is chaotic and shifting, my family is perfectly anchored in the security of your unshakable defense. When the old, familiar, fearful thoughts try to violently rise within my consciousness during the quiet, vulnerable hours of the night, immediately shock my system with a sudden surge of holy electricity, reminding me that you are impossibly near and that I do not have to be afraid. Teach me the raw, transformative spiritual discipline of truly trusting your unyielding character completely, instead of habitually caving in, surrendering to chronic worry, or bowing down to the phantom whispers of my current anxieties. Break my toxic, exhausting addiction to trying to micromanage my outcomes and obsessing over variables I was never designed to carry or control in my own fragile power. Grant me the profound grace to drop my heavy mental burdens directly at the foot of your throne, knowing that the architect of the galaxies is fully capable of managing the intricate details of my personal story while I lay my head down in absolute safety. Turn my midnight hours into a sacred sanctuary of profound emotional healing and divine restoration, transforming my moments of vulnerability into a launching pad for your earth-shaking intervention tomorrow. As I sleep deeply tonight, completely hidden under the shadow of your almighty wings, let your Holy Spirit systematically renew my physical strength, realign my emotions, and aggressively refresh my spirit for the journey ahead. I boldly declare that my rest tonight will be perfectly peaceful, entirely uninterrupted, completely unbothered, and filled to absolute overflowing with an exquisite heavenly calm that reanimates my entire being from the inside out. I break my historic covenant with insomnia, racing thoughts, and morning exhaustion, and I step boldly into a brand new season of absolute mental freedom, emotional liberation, and spiritual authority. I am lifting my head out of the ash heap of fear, stepping into a posture of offensive power, and declaring that the cycle of night terrors terminates in my life this very moment, because the Lord of Hosts has entered my bedroom, and he has never lost a single confrontation in eternity.